I'll call this meeting of the Blackhawk County Board of Supervisors to order. Roll call, please. Ms. Showalter.
Chris?
Here.
Linda?
Here.
Dan?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Davis?
Here.
All right. Please join us for a moment of silence to reflect on today's actions. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, entertain a motion on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda is approved. We will now move on to public comments. If there's anybody, I don't see anybody in the boardroom, if there's anybody online who wishes to address the board on something that is not an agenda item, please do so at this moment. All right, hearing none, we will move on to claims and payments. This is a resolution that the Board of Supervisors approve expenditures and that the county auditor be authorized and directed to issue checks against the various settlement of such claims as allowed.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Michelle?
Good morning, Board. Our total bill payment today is $492,408.16, and the portion paid from the Sheriff's 60/40 fund is $4,715.44. We are getting into construction season. I guess we do have a few construction payments. We are making the final payment on the Sheriff's Lobby renovation to Peters Construction. That's just retainage of $25,991.74. We're paying Envision for courthouse renovations, $13,350. We're also making a payment to Origin Design for the Cedar Valley Nature Trail, $19,106, and paying Iowa Department of Natural Resources for Casey Lake Restoration of $58,680.34. Everything appears to be in order. Any
Excellent.
questions?
Any questions, board? Hearing none, roll call, please. Ms. Showalter.
Dan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Next, we will receive project updates from department heads and elected officials.
Morning, Board. Ryan Brennan, Assistant County Engineer. For the most part, things are pretty routine this week. We are seeing some potholes on the gravel roads, but crews are out, graders, trucks, and everyone kind of working on that. It will take probably a couple rounds for them to work their way through that, but just part of spring, I guess, this year. So.
All right, thank you. All right, any other department heads or elected officials wish to provide an update this morning, either in the room or on Zoom? All right, hearing none, we will move on to the minutes approved from the April 2nd, 2024 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded.
Who seconded that? Sorry.
Linda.
Take one. Yeah, I did. Die.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, minutes are approved. Next, we'll move on to the consent agenda. These items will be approved with a single resolution unless there's anything anybody wishes to pull out for discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please, Ms. Showalter.
Davis?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
All right, the resolution is approved. Item 7, we will move on to other business. This is a resolution to approve the roads department to collect $50 fee for the establishment of a no spray permit and a $25 fee for each additional sign over two as defined in chapters 317.1A and sections 318.3, which shall give landowners permission to keep said lands free of noxious weed growth as recommended by Griffin Kabalka, Weed Commissioner.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions?
So again, this is a permit for our department, so this would allow residents to apply for a permit to essentially manage and maintain some of that right-of-way in front of their property. So with that, essentially, they would be getting a permit to manage the weeds. We would supply them with signs and posts. It would essentially be a no spray sign. Would kind of tell us and then also other people in the area to keep those areas free of, the different chemicals and stuff that we do apply. We do have some residents that have a desire to kind of manage some of that on their own and not have us apply the herbicides that we're typically applying in a lot of the right-of-way. The fee simply covers just the cost of the signs, so there is no additional money that we're collecting as part of that. That's just to get recouped for the cost of the signs themselves. We are looking at this as an annual permit, so this would be something people would apply for each year. The only time a new fee would apply is if the signs need to be replaced over time. So,
Okay.
any questions specific on some of that or the process? Griffin's here, can answer some questions as well.
So people will apply each year, but there won't be a fee if they already have the signs?
Yep, so it would be something I would assume Griffin or some of our other staff would go out, kind of look at the areas, review, make sure things are being maintained. They can look at the signs. If the signs are in good order and the residents continue to maintain things nicely, it'll just be a new application for them. And
All right.
What's the oversight to ensure that it is being maintained? Just
part of that, I think, would be kind of our yearly review of the different sites. So Griffin
Okay.
would go out and make sure that those areas are being maintained free of weeds and trees or brush that would cause issues in the right of way.
is there additional work there, right? Where folks aren't spraying, if we're spraying every year in an area, I would assume that's a little easier to oversee than if there's not. I'm assuming you investigate. Not investigate. That's probably a little too strong of a word, but you know what I'm saying. It's.
I wouldn't think there would be a lot of additional work for us. Griffin's routinely traveling around the county just to manage the different sites that he seeds to kind of make sure things that we're doing are growing nicely and don't need maintenance. So a lot of that, I think, would get covered in work that they're already traveling around to do, and would probably be looked at more in passing than a special trip for some of those. I think this just gives residents an option to kind of manage some of that on their own. And then, if they wish to not have that chemical applied, we have run into some people that, have that wish. And there is some sites that Griffin does monitor already in spraying to make sure that we're not spraying around organic crops or other things that people wish to protect as well. So,
And if that growth does happen in these areas, is there a penalty through this process or no?
you want to talk a little about how you handle that?
So within this permit, it's kind of the same language that I have in the noxious weed law. How, if this weed isn't taken care of with a certified notice within 10 days of serving the letter, we'll send all this certified mail so we know that person gets the mail. And then from there, we'll monitor that. After those 10 days, we'll go back and see if that's been managed. And then from there, if the weeds aren't managed, or, if we have a conversation, giving them a little more leeway or grace period, and that's still not done, then action will be taken from me, where I will go do the said management, apply a herbicide, whatever it may be, and then that person will be billed for the time, the herbicide, all that stuff. That underneath of the permit is what else states of what that applicant is supposed to manage before those actions are to be taken.
Great. Any other questions, board?
Maybe just discussion. Does it make sense to, instead of $50, which just covers the cost of the sign, to take that to $55 to make sure that certified letters, that sort of thing, are covered in the event? Not to say it's, I don't know. Maybe maybe it's nothing, but,
Sure. I would say that I don't foresee this being like a real. I mean, I foresee it you being utilized by the people within the county, but I don't see it being hundreds of applications,
Okay.
a year. It's going to be smaller landowners, or if you have somebody who has, say, native habitat next to the road or something, those people might be the ones who adopt something like this. It might be 10 a year or 15 a year. So it's really not going to be so cost effective. And with our, the policy in there, or the permit says, all weeds, trees, shrubs need to be eradicated before June 1st. So these things, I feel like people are going to appreciate what we're giving them, and in hopes of return of them appreciating just the capability of doing this on their own and not having the chemicals within the right of way. So I hope not to serve too many letters.
Yep.
So hopefully that'll alleviate some of that cost too.
And you mentioned it's like a yearly, it's gonna be annually, so I guess if we find out that's different,
an
we
issue.
can
Yeah.
certainly do it next year.
Right, yep, and then just on the application, there's just a little box that says renewal. So that's all they really have to do, so.
Oh,
All right. Any further questions or discussion?
okay.
Hearing none, roll call please, Ms. Showalter.
Tom,
Yes.
Tavis,
yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Resolution is approved. Next is a motion that the personnel requisition for office specialist full-time in the sheriff's office with a start date of as soon as possible be approved as recommended by Lori Denning in the sheriff's office.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions?
Lori did mention, I think, I see it's not included in here, but 4/29, like April 29th, she wanted to do that as soon as possible, so that we could mention that, I guess, April 29th. She has 2 positions, and so sooner the better.
Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The motion carries. Next is a motion that the personnel requisition for account technician full-time in the auditor's office be approved as recommended by Grant Feeder County Auditor.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions?
Just add to that as well, because I followed up with Jen, I guess. We know that that person that they're replacing is going to the maintenance department. It's supposed to start April 29th, so their goal is to have someone in position too at April 29th.
All right. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, item D, this is a motion that the personnel requisition for office specialist full-time in the treasurer's office be approved as recommended by Linda Hintzman, County Treasurer.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions?
Did you want to say anything? Okay. If you have questions. No, and you said no sooner than the May 20th, but do you really want to hold to that? Because I was going to say, or would you like some leeway just to say?
Good morning, Board. Linda Hintzman, Treasurer. I actually currently have 4 positions open. One I am filling. I just got approval yesterday, so that person is going to start within 2 weeks. The reason I'm pushing the next one out until like the end of May is to allow enough time of training in between them. So now I'm hoping they'll stop retiring on me for a little bit here and moving out of state for something different and so on. But that's why I'm asking for it to be sometime in May to allow for training.
That's great. Plus, you mentioned, I think, your office construction and stuff, trying to,
Well, and that's
Work with
part of
the
it too.
bodies.
I've kind of been trying to hold back on maybe 1, if not 2 positions, if I can, to maintain, I know we're gonna be in a smaller environment within the next how many months to come. So I kind of don't want too many new bodies sitting on top of all of us as well. So I kind of want to wait and see what all that generates at that point.
thank you.
Thank you.
Board, any further questions or discussion? I'll just say Blackhawk County is hiring, folks, so come on down. All right, this is a motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Next is item E. This is a motion to direct the county auditor to advertise for a public hearing to be held at 9:07 a.m. on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, in Boardroom 201 of the Blackhawk County Courthouse, 316 East 5th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, on the proposed ordinance number 77-285 form with a request submitted by Russell O'Connell at 3935 Gilbertville Road to rezone 1.57 acres of land from A agricultural district to AR agricultural residential district to allow for the construction of one single-family dwelling.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion carries. This is item F. This is a motion to direct the county auditor to advertise for a public hearing / bid opening to be held at 9:05 a.m. April 23rd, 2024, in Boardroom 201 of the Blackhawk County Courthouse, 316 East 5th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, for the asphalt parking lot, concrete, curb, and gutter repair project located at the Blackhawk County Courthouse, 316 East 5th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, the Blackhawk County Sheriff's Office located at 225 East 6th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, and the Pinecrest facility located at 1407 Independence Avenue, Waterloo, Iowa.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next is a work session, discussion, possible board action, consideration, all aspects of the fiscal year 25 Blackhawk County budget.
Board, I did not prepare anything for today, so if you don't have any topics you want to discuss, I think we can cancel it.
Yeah. I feel good about where we're at, budget, so it's,
I have one question, maybe procedurally, just because of the capital list that you provided to us, I think, a couple weeks ago, where we had the bond
yeah.
and the fund balance, you know, and whichever we were going to utilize for those different projects. I was just curious of when we determine that or how we go about that procedure, just because there's such a mix of the departments and some will want to do things July 1 and others might be later in the year. And so I just wondered your thoughts.
Well, that's one of the questions I need an answer from
Yeah.
you about, if you want to bond for the ones that are eligible or not, and if we intend to do all of them on the list. Those are two questions that are out there. We can,
I know, I would like to bond for what's eligible. I think
Yes.
it's
I'm in the same boat.
the wise decision for the years to come.
okay.
So we can put that on a future agenda if we need to, I guess. Or, as it says, possible board action, we could do
Yeah, I
it
think
today.
we could offer.
We could just do it today.
Just-
Yeah.
yeah.
Just so you got final
Yeah,
direction
that
there.
would be
I'll,
great.
I'll make the motion to bond for all applicable capital expenses.
I'll second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions, board?
Just a question for Michelle, when do you think we do that then, if you have any idea?
I'm going to go through that list and determine some timing. I know our financial advisor had maybe recommended we do 2 years at once, but I will explore that further with them about whether we do that or not. And what we can do to get the earlier projects done if, you know.
Yeah, that's what I just thought with the different ones that
Yep.
would be kind of messy.
Yeah, if they're on the 25, I think it's because we want to do them, so, yeah, it's probably more about the ones on the 26 list if you want to move them up or back, whatever your preference is.
Okay. All right, we do have a motion and a second. We'll do this as a resolution. If there's no further discussion or questions, roll call, please, Ms. Showalter.
Trelka,
Yes.
Little,
No.
Hall,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes, I guess I'd like to know the cost of the bonding and some of that would be helpful, but yeah.
All right, the resolution carries. Item 9, any reports or information from the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? The ayes have it. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.